What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachai36. I am here riding solo today for our all-day anime segment. I'm going to be talking to you guys about some anime stuff. Gravity-Mark 2 is currently on vacation, so he will be back momentarily. But currently, right now, you guys have me on the show as the single solo host. First and foremost, I want to appreciate everybody that has been tuning in live whenever we're doing our Smite Nights, our Alt Things Gamings, our 9 to 5 segments, the whole 9. We really do appreciate that. It helps out tremendously, helps out a lot. And yeah, we're going to continue doing that throughout the year of 2021. Excuse me a moment while I get a few things quickly set up. A few quick updates too as well that I wanted to throw out to you guys as I'm getting ready for all of this is that this coming 2021 is when ALWT Gaming officially became a business. So very exciting stuff there. Very, very excited, very happy. And we're really, really excited to see what 2021 and the rest of the years is going to have for the ALWT Gaming. But I just wanted to share that with you guys that we are now officially a business, which means that we're going to be kind of celebrating in a different, unique type like way. We're going to end up doing some giveaways. We're going to end up doing some events and all that good stuff, possibly bringing on some other people from other podcasts and services and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're really excited about it, and I really, really can't wait to see what the rest of the year is going to have for us. With that being said, we do have a website, www.alwtgaming.com. You guys can check out our content there. All of our social media platforms, there's a link to it on there. There's also like a little merchandise store that we're working on. You can actually get merchandise now, but it is something that we're going to be trying to make more vast, because right now it's pretty minuscule. There's like a shirt, a hoodie, mask, and a mug, I think, that you can get from there, but they're all within a reasonable price too as well. So make sure you guys are checking that out, and that's in the About Us section, which is the merchandise, which again the website's going to be updated for that. But www.alwtgaming.com, and then of course you guys can also find us on patreon.com/ALWT Gaming. If you guys are here on Twitch, then you guys already know where to find us. If you don't, if you're not listening to this on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube or Anchor, you could go to www.twitch.tv/ALWT Gaming. That's where you can find us there too as well. And you guys can also subscribe to us, as we are also new Twitch affiliates. If you guys have Amazon Prime, you guys have Twitch Prime, you just have to link your accounts together, and that gives you a free sub monthly that you guys are welcome to utilize to any Twitch streamer that you guys watch or want to support. We encourage you to use it for us, but if you don't use it for us, we would encourage you guys to use it for another Twitch streamer, since it's free anyway. That's just free money pretty much. So yes, all that in a bag of chips, you know. So a few quick things I did want to bring up and talk to you guys about. All right, there's four topics overall that I wanted to discuss. The first one being, and these are, first and foremost, these are all going to be kind of spoiler-y because they're brand new. I haven't seen today the newest episode of Attack on Titan. I'm very curious to see what's going to be. I have predictions about it. Me and Gravity on the last podcast had predictions about how it's going to be. Gravity had the prediction that it was going to be a little bit more slower. It's going to ease into it. I thought all hell was going to break loose. And at the very end of last week's episode, all hell broke loose. And I'm very, very excited to see what today's episode holds. Promised Neverland is back, in case you guys were not aware about that. They're on episode 2 of season 2 this week, and I believe it's Thursday is when episode 3 will come out. And then That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is back. We're going to talk about that as well. They're an episode in. You guys already know about Black Clover. That's been ongoing the whole time, and quite a few other things are back that I want to talk about. ReZero, that's another thing that we're going to be talking about too as well. And then we're also going to be talking about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. All right, and who won last year and how you can vote this year and all of that good stuff. So first and foremost, for anyone that doesn't know about Attack on Titan, highly recommend it. If you guys have Netflix, I feel like they should have more seasons on Netflix. Let's just be real. They should have more seasons on Netflix. But as of right now, they only got season 1 still. And we're in season 4. So I'm not entirely sure of what Netflix, like what those licensing issues are. I'm not sure what Netflix is doing. but I mean, because I feel like they had season 1 for like the past 7 years now. It's a little ridiculous. But anyway, if you guys are curious about it, you guys can find Attack on Titan on Netflix for the first season. It is in sub only. If you guys have Funimation, you guys can find it in dub and sub there for all of the seasons except for the newest one. I believe the newest one is only in sub. And what sub means, again, is subtitles, to where it's Japanese voice actors and English or whatever your language is, subtitles. But if it's in dub, it's going to be in English dub or German dub or Spanish dub. Whatever that dub is going to be dialogue to where you would actually understand the voice actors. It wouldn't be anything that you had to translate. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in Attack on Titan, make sure you guys are checking that out. A real quick overview of Attack on Titan. For anyone that's watching this for the first time, it is set in a world where humanity lives inside cities surrounded by enormous walls that protect it from gigantic man-eating humanoids referred to as Titans. The story follows Eren Yeager, who vows to exterminate the Titans after a Titan brings about the destruction of his hometown and the death of his mother. That's not necessarily spoilery. And I mean, it is, but it isn't. And I say that because that happens in the very first episode. That's episode 1 is when that happened as. And the way it starts off. So I'm going to kind of go inside a little bit of season 1, tap on a little bit of season 2, and go inside season 3 into 4. So the way it starts off is pretty slow. It's interesting to see what's about to happen. That first episode, the last 30 seconds to a minute, that's when stuff gets real. You guys probably heard, if you guys been on the podcast with me and Gravity, we've talked about this before, but that's when stuff starts getting really, really super real, is at the last like 30 seconds to a minute of episode 1. Then going inside episode 2 and 3, it kind of backtracks because it shows they're introducing new characters, and then you also see Eren Yeager get older. And because he's older, he wants to go ahead and join. There's 3 different regiments. You have the military police, the scout regiment, and then the garrison regiment. The garrison regiment is like the normal police officers that's out here nowadays, just out there and about, inside the streets, making sure everyone's abiding by the law. They deal with the citizens within the walls. The military police protect the king. So that's like, I guess you could say, the U.S. Army, Japanese Army. Like they protect government. And then the scout regiment, those are like more the hardcore types. Those are like the Marines, if you will. So they go out and about into the actual, like, beyond the walls to try to search for resources, land, what's out there, all that good stuff. That scout regiment is the most dangerous regiment that you can possibly be in, because out besides the walls are Titans, and these Titans are huge. It's not like Goliath huge. It's like bigger than Goliath. All right, because Goliath in the Bible is definitely a giant and everything like that. These guys make Goliath look like a normal human. They're huge. And there's different types too, which is crazy. And just before we get into the special types, there's different types of Titans to where you have some Titans that look angry in the face. You have some Titans that are smiling, which those are the ones that creep me out the most. You got some Titans that are that look like they're worried or paranoid or whatever the case is, look scared, but they all have one thing in common, and they love eating and killing humans. No idea why, but they love eating and killing humans. And the first season is completely, it's just like, what is going on? What are these Titans? Why are they just so bloodlust? Because in like the first couple episodes, the teachers kind of show that the Titans have been around for like thousands of years or whatever the case is, and before humans actually existed. So obviously that's saying that they didn't need humans for food. They're not eating humans for just to survive. They're eating and killing humans for the sport of it. They're enjoying it, and it's just like, that's kind of scary. That's kind of creepy. So whenever you guys see those memes that pop up on your social media pages where it says, would you rather be inside the Walking Dead's world with all these man-eating zombies around there, or would you rather live in Attack on Titan's world where you have these huge Titans? I take zombies all day, every day. Those Titans are nothing to be messed with. Fast forwarding a little bit, Aaron and Mikasa, which Mikasa is definitely a family friend of his, and obviously you guys could tell that she's in love with him. In Armin, which is the best friend, which is super brainy. He's not really bronze at all, but he's super brainy. They all join the scout regiment. They're going forward, trying to live out their duties and all that good stuff. Aaron has this goal in mind that he wants to go ahead and kill every single living Titan out there, just because he wants to get that vengeance for his mother. It is absolutely, like, I get it. Like, it was a very painful scene to watch at the very end of the first episode. And then stuff happens, and later on you start finding out these other special type Titans to where they have intelligence and they look different than the others. So it looks like that their muscles, like the human anatomy type muscles, looks like that's like coming out of their skin. It's not like a normal Titan. If I can find a picture of a Titan, let me go and see if I can show you guys what a Titan looks like real quick. Audio listeners, you guys won't be able to see it, unfortunately, but you guys will be. We should be able to. Let's see. You guys should be able to go to Google and take a look at this as well. All right, let me see if this is pull up for us. Okay. We getting somewhere. Windows. Bam. Okay. All right, let's see it. I think we got it. So let's go pull up on the page just a little bit. I don't exactly have it super big or anything like that, but you guys are gonna be able to see them here. Here it is, right here. So right there's a person right there in the middle. That's actually a character named Levi. You guys will find that out a little bit later. But all the other things around him, those are Titans, and those are the man-eating, flesh-eating type crap. Like, they absolutely love devouring, and you can see that they're coming after Levi right now. They look just like normal type Titans, right? Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up what the special Titans look like, and I'm going to try to see if I can. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I know it's going to be kind of spoilery, but I don't want to spoil too much, because especially I don't want to ruin you guys. I don't want to ruin you guys experiencing this show, because it's absolutely fantastic. It's a very, very, very fantastic series. Let's see. It's not going to show me that. Nope. Okay. All right. I think I got something here. There it is. Okay. So this one's kind of more of like an illustration I'm about to show you guys real fast. Let me see if it will pull up. Oh, it did pull up. Oh, there you go. And you guys probably saw some spoilers there on that one. But yeah, so that Titan right there, hopefully you guys, I moved quickly so that way you guys can fully understand what's going on there. But yeah, that Titan right there is one with intelligence. All right. Let me go ahead and switch back on over. There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, so with that being said, there's Titans in general that they start trying to get through and killing and all that good stuff. Then eventually they start getting to a point to where they come to these Titans that have intelligence, and they're wondering what they are, how they came to be and all that good stuff. And I mean, they have intelligence because there's a certain weakness that Titans have, which is cutting the nape of their neck. That's one way you guys can destroy it, because there's something there that just cuts off life from the Titans to where they can't move. And that's exactly what the Titans with intelligence, they cover up when the scout regiment is trying to kill them, because the scout regiment have blades that are they're very, very sharp. They're very sharp. They're replaceable blades, and they try to go ahead and cut the nape of the neck so that way it can immobilize the Titans and kill them. They also have three-dimensional gear, so that way they kind of zip around like Spider-Man and stuff like that on this machine that require gas. And if they run out of gas, they're obviously screwed. Or if their blades are too dull, then they're probably screwed unless they're able to get away. Just because they do utilize gas and blades in order to effectively do their job. But yeah, so when the Scout Regiment are trying to kill the Titans at that aspect, these Titans with intelligence will block that nape of the neck. And it's just like, snap, this is getting real. And this is the type of anime where you have no idea who's going to live, who's going to die, who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. It's kind of all over the place, which is very interesting to me. Fast forwarding a series of events, so we went from season 1. At the end of season 1, that Titan I just showed you, which you probably saw through the spoiler if you guys are visual watchers right now, viewers, they find out who that Titan is, and they capture the Titan. All right, going inside season 2. At beginning of season 2, stuff during the whole debacle of trying to capture that particular Titan, everything like that, there is a piece of the wall that protects them from the outside that falls down, that falls apart. And when they look behind the wall, there is one of those huge colossal Titans that you guys see in season 1 behind that wall. Like, he's actually in the wall. And it's just like, what the heck is going on? And there's certain people that's in the city that knows more than what they're leading on. They know more about what's happening inside the world of Attack on Titan, everything like that. And it just gets really juicy, really crazy. All these conspiracies going around, threats going around, people dying, and all that good stuff. And you'll even see a Titan that is like covered in hair, like he's completely covered in hair and stuff like that. But one of the things about that Titan is that he's very he practically controls the other Titans. Like the smaller Titans I showed you a picture on the first one, he practically controls the other Titans. He tells them to stop moving, and they'll stop moving. If he says attack them, they'll start attacking. It's kind of crazy that he has that type of power. And yeah, all these different series goes on, but I'm going to fast forward to over season 2, over season 3, on over to season 4, which is the last thing that we saw. So this is a big spoiler in case anybody wants to stop watching now or just mute it for the time being, or go ahead and watch the anime first and then come back to this video later so we can talk about it, or you can see my reaction and talking about this and all that good stuff. For the latest chapter, so Falco, which is a character that you find out later on. First and foremost, the way the season started for season 4, I didn't really appreciate and like. And the reason why I say that is because there's a few times where they go back in the past, and you're seeing what happened to Eren Yeager's dad, his mom, the whole 9 back in the day. Like, they kind of explain a little bit more, piecing together all this mystery that is leading up to the final season, which now I'm at a point where I'm just like, dang, what's about to happen next? Like, this is crazy. And so they did that a couple times. So when season 3 ended, and this is a little spoiler for season 3, they get to a body of water. They get to a sea, and everyone's just like, snap, there's actually water here, because Armin and his family had actually noticed that from a book. They wanted to be adventurers. They wanted to go out beyond the walls and kind of explore all this stuff, because they've only heard about lakes of sand, which is the desert, bodies of ice and snow, which is, again, snow and stuff like that, bodies of water that had so much salt in it. They've only heard about stuff like that. They haven't actually experienced it. So when they get there, it just seems like, okay, this is cool, because the scout regiments and people and the cadets and all that good stuff have never been out that far before. Everyone's all happy. Everyone's inside the water. They're all doing whatever. They look at Eren Yeager, and Eren looks super depressed. And he's just like, this is the end. And something had happened with him that made him be able to know what's about to happen, or what happened in the past, or whatever that means. He realizes something here. That's how season 3 ends. When season 4 starts, it looks like that it was going back in the past to give you more puzzle pieces of what's going on, because they show you characters that you have no idea who they are. Like, there's a character named Falco. There's a little girl that's in there. They have their little friends, all that good stuff. You have no idea who any of these characters are. And then all of a sudden you see a person that looks like Reiner's dad. So you're just like, okay. And then that person also, like, they talk about it, and he has, this is a huge spoiler, so stop now. Watch the series. Come back if you're not already at this point. But spoiler being revealed, this Reiner is the is the armor titan. Berthold is the colossal titan, and Annie is the female titan. And then there's one more titan, which at this point it was actually confirmed that she's dead, was Ymir, which you find that out later on in the series. So those are all the major titans that we really know of, as opposed of at the end of season 3 you find out that Armin ends up becoming a titan because he's actually on the verge of death, and he actually absorbs Berthold, which had the power of the colossal titan. So I'm curious to see what Armin's transformation will officially look like now that he absorbed the colossal titan, because they gave the serum, which that's a whole nother thing. They gave the serum to Armin when he's on the verge of death, because that part was really like snap, because Levi was going to give the serum to Armin up front, no questions asked. But when he saw that the general Captain Irvin was still alive, he's going to give the serum to him instead, which probably would have given them the best chance of surviving, and because he had so much military experience, if he has that type of power, it's just like snap, that's a war general. They'll be able to do X, Y, and Z. And so that's exactly what Levi was thinking about. That's going to be their best chance for humanity. So he was going to give the serum to Erwin. Of course, Mikasa and Eren are all about being there for their best friend. Like, he's on the verge of death. He risks everything he can so that way they can go ahead and take out Berthold. And he's literally on the verge of death, to where almost all, if even myself, thought he was dead. But yeah. So then Eren's trying to have Levi give the serum to Armin. Levi's like, no. Punches, kicks Eren's out the way. Mikasa loses her stuff and starts attacking Levi, and that was the end of season 2. That went inside season 3. Like I'm talking after the credits. It was ridiculous when I first saw that. I was like, what in the world happens later on? Because that was a sneak peek of what's going on later on. But anyway, I say all that to say, when he's about to give this serum to Erwin like kind of had like a little flashback, and he kind of raised his hand, and it kind of triggered something to Levi, to where he's just like, why would we bring Erwin back to this world when he doesn't want to be here? Something along the lines like that, to where it's just like, why would we bring him back out of this hellhole, like back into this hellhole? Why wouldn't we just give him peace and all that good stuff? And then he ended up, against his better judgment, going ahead and giving the serum to Armin, which he turned into a normal titan, which if a normal titan eats a titan that is imbued with that special serum or whatever it is, then they'll absorb that person's power, the whole 9. So that's exactly what happened, is that now Armin has the colossal titan in him, and I'm very curious to see of what Armin's going to transform into later. But fast forwarding into it now, like I said, those were all the titans there. That person that I thought in season 4, the beginning of season 4, that person that I thought was Reiner's dad is not Reiner's dad. That's actually Reiner, and that's them in the future. And it was just like, there's a huge 4 to 5 year gap in between, and I just didn't like the way it picked up. Like, I was like, the last thing I saw was in season 3. They're at the sea, and you're with Eren and his group. They're at the sea, and you're seeing this whole thing of excitement, but then they look at Eren, and now there's a huge thing of concern. Then the very next season, which is months away, possibly even a year away, because we haven't, you already know that there's a lot of animes out there that don't really do fillers as much anymore, so there's not a lot of stuff in between. And next thing you know, months later, they come out with season 4, the final season, and there's no explanation of what had happened there, how they got there. And that goes on for a couple episodes. And then that's when I find out that was Reiner. That is the future. That is 5 years ahead of the time. The whole 9. There's a kid named Falco who seems to be a very important character that's inside this new season. And I'm very curious to see how this is going to pan out, because Falco had been visiting a person that was inside the infirmary or whatever, making sure that he's getting better, doing the good deeds, delivering letters for this person, everything like that. and that person wanted to meet Reiner, and Falco ends up leading Reiner down to this like basement area. They get there, and Reiner sees this person that he requested for him inside a chair, only to find out that was actually Eren, which is like, what? Like, that's actually Eren with long hair. Now, again, when you look at it, as viewers seeing that, you can kind of see what's coming. You can kind of see that's Eren. And at the end of the last episode, Eren transformed into his, that was another surprise too, by the way. That's a little spoiler. Eren is a Titan as well, which you end up finding out in like episode 6, I want to say. Around 5 or 6 is when you find out that Eren is a Titan as well. And in fact, it was crazy because when you first saw that, you thought Eren died. Like, you thought he just lived for 5 episodes. They just killed off the main protagonist, and that was it. That obviously didn't happen. And Eren did transform, and he ended up becoming this really muscular type, all-knowing battle Titan, which I think they call it the Attack Titan, which is why it's called Attack on Titan. I mean, because that took me a minute too, as well, to see why it's called Attack on Titan as far as the actual story selection. But Eren turns into the Attack Titan, and everything gets blown up, and that's how the last episode of last week ended. So today's episode that came out today for Attack on Titan, I'm very curious to see what they're going to be ending up doing with that. I think Eren's going to cause mass destruction. I think we're going to start seeing more of the Armor Titan show back up through Reiner. He's going to try to step up to Eren, but maybe Eren has some more combat training now. I don't know what's going on with Annie, because Annie still has yet to actually be seen at this point. She was seen at the very end of season 1. After she got captured, she crystallized, and then you never saw her again. Like, you just never saw her again, because they have her underground, so that way if she tries to transform, she'll be stuck underground and she can't move. So very smart of the humans to do that. But I'm very curious to see what they're going to do and how they're going to do this with Annie. I'm very curious to see if any of the Titans that were against them in the first place, I'm very curious to see if any of them end up siding with Eren and Armin and Mikasa and all them. I don't know, but I think all hell's gonna break loose right now, as it kind of already did in the last episode. And I think that Armin and Mikasa's there already. I think Jean is already there. I think Levi's there. If I had to make a prediction, I heard about a spoiler for myself, which was really unfortunate. But I heard a spoiler for myself, and it was spoiled by in accident. They thought I had already read the manga, which, by the way, I never really read the mangas, not up front. Unless it's like something that's just like, I have to see this now, which Attack on Titan is that way. But I've been always the type of person that really likes the plot as it unfolds in front of my face. I like to hear how their voices sound. I like to see how the action's supposed to be. I don't like trying to imagine what it's supposed to be and then finding out later on that's not that. Because that could also set you up for disappointment too as well. If you're expecting, like, if you're reading and you're expecting this character to be a really cool, sinister type of guy, then all of a sudden he's really goofy and weird with his voice, and maybe the action is not as cool as illustrated inside the manga. I feel like that could set you up for disappointment as well. But I'm in that realm as far as liking to watch things unfold as the anime comes out and everything like that. But they had a spoiler for me, and I found out another person that ended up dying in Attack on Titan, which was really unfortunate. And I'm not going to tell you guys who that is, because that hasn't happened yet. If you guys read the manga, you guys probably already know who it is. But I don't know. I would love if I don't. I have a feeling the way that the whole series is going to end. I think Eren is going to live. I think Mikasa is going to live. I think Levi is going to die. And that might be a very unpopular opinion. I don't want Levi to die. I have a strong suspicion that Levi is going to die. One of the reasons why is because his power scaling does not make any sense at all. Levi is an absolute monster. Levi is a monster. He takes on so many Titans, and he does it with the utmost like skill. It is crazy. It is crazy. And there's even a time period in season 3 where the Zeke, that's the Titan's name that is has the fur on him and everything like that. Zeke ends up is like a really, really, really strong Titan. And like that, like I said, he can control all these other Titans and all the good stuff. He's able to give good commands and stuff like that. There's a point where Zeke is even warned by Reiner and Bertholdt that the person you need to be worried about and watch out for is Levi. And at the end of season 3, Levi lays into Zeke. And it's just like, no one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. Levi was a dog. And then later on, that's when another Titan, there's a transport Titan that ends up coming out and saving Zeke from being completely killed and assassinated by Levi. Like, it was really, he had to retreat from that, which is insane. Yeah, I flipped out. I was standing up in my chair and everything like that when I first saw that. It was insane, guys. It was insane. So I'm just kind of curious to see what's going to happen today. I wonder if you're going to see some more Mikasa. I wonder if you're going to see Armin and Levi kind of enter the scene now that Eren just blew up an area and now he's in his Titan form, about to go ahead and kind of get vengeance on the Marlians or whatever. Like I think that's what's going on right now, is that because after all this stuff had happened, Eren, on a weird scale, was able to understand where Reiner's coming from and why he did what he did. Because, spoiler alert, the reason why Eren's mom died and why his hometown was attacked was because Bertholdt was the Colossal Titan that kicked in the wall. And then so all the outside Titans, the little mini mindless Titans, they were able to come in and start killing off the citizens there, and one of them being his mother. And then Reiner came through the walls too as well, and he ended up busting out a hole on the other side of the wall. So that district is just gone. That district is just dead. And one thing as well too, I thought that was, and this is kind of a backtracking a little bit, going back to that scene where, like I said, the freaky smiley Titans and stuff like that go out there and kill and all that good stuff. One of them, this is another spoiler, which again, at this point, you guys would have already known, but one of them happened to be Grisha Yeager's wife, which Grisha Yeager is Eren's dad, but Grisha Yeager back in the day was married previously, and so I guess technically that would be Eren's stepmom before anything, because this is all before Eren was actually born. And Grisha Yeager's wife was actually killed and pushed off, and killed through the Titan way. She was pushed off the wall, killed, and she transformed into that Smiling Titan. That Smiling Titan happens to be the same exact Titan that killed Grisha Yeager's wife, which is Eren's mom, and that happened to be the same Titan that killed Hana, which was the soldier that was trying to that did save Mikasa and Eren back in the day, but tried to go ahead and save, I think her name is Marlene, I think that was her name, that tried to save her, but because the building was on top of her and he wasn't able to pull the stuff off of her, and he got scared when he saw that Titan. He's a warrior, a garrison regiment. He got scared when he saw that Titan, and he just took the kids and fled per her request. That scene was so sad, man. I keep thinking about it too every so often, and that scene was so sad because even though Marlene wanted Eren and Mikasa to live, and as they were running away, she kind of saw like a vision of them back in the day having a happy moment. She ended up getting really, really scared and sad, and she covered her mouth and she's like, please don't leave me. Like, that was fear at its finest, and that was crazy to me. But yeah, so very curious to see what today's episode is going to hold. If you guys have yet to check it out, again, Attack on Titan, fantastic series. Hopefully, if you guys haven't watched it before, you guys haven't made it this far inside this podcast. If you guys have, Let's talk about it, man. Leave me some comments inside the comment section below. Send us an email at ALWT Gaming, or at least we tried.gaming@gmail.com, or send us a message on any of our social media platforms. I would love to talk to you guys about it. Get your predictions. Talk about what's about to happen today on Attack on Titan. And after, that's exactly what I'm going to watch after I get off this podcast and take a look at there. So very, very exciting and curious stuff. Topic number 2. That we have on here is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. That is back, guys. That is back. So if you guys have yet to actually start that one, highly recommend it. The plot line of that one is Satoru Mikami is a ordinary 37-year-old corporate worker living in Tokyo. He is almost content with his monotonous life, despite the fact that he doesn't have a girlfriend. During a casual encounter with his colleague, an assailant pops out of nowhere and stabs him. While succumbing to his injuries, a mysterious voice echoes in his mind, recites a series of commands which he cannot make sense of. After regaining consciousness, Satoru discovers that he has been reincarnated as a slime in an unfamiliar world. At the same time, he also acquires a newfound skills, particularly the ability to call predator, which allows him to devour anything and mimic its appearance and skills, which, by the way, he actually kind of gave him pretty much what was going on, and this is kind of summarizing it right here. As he was dying in his real life, that voice in his head was pretty much like a genie. So it was everything that he was thinking, everything that he was thinking in his head was being granted and being translated inside the game world that he's being transported to, because that's practically why that happened, is that he got into a new life, he got reincarnated into a whole new world that practically works like a video game. So that's pretty much going on there. So when he talked about he ended up talking about Sage and Great Sage and Predator and all that good stuff. Predator is one of the things that he talked about, and he ended up getting at the very beginning, which is important because that allows him to gain new skills and stuff like that throughout the series. He stumbles across Veldora, a catastrophe level storm dragon who was sealed for 300 years, reducing a town into ash. Feeling sorry for him, Satoru befriends a dragon, promising to help him destroy the seal. In return, Veldora bestows upon him the name Rimuru Tempest and grants him divine protection. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure if it's going to say that in the rest of this little thing. In this show, naming a character or an animal something, because they actually don't have names, but they're able to communicate through their own race and stuff like that. They don't have names, so naming something kind of gives the creature power and all that good stuff, which you find out in the earlier season. So Veldora naming Rimuru allowed him to kind of be, I don't know, like kind of like a great slime, if you will. And then I think Rimuru ended up naming Veldora too, and that's how they came up with the name Tempest and stuff like that, because I think Rimuru said Tempest and Veldora named Rimuru, and so that's how they ended up becoming the family name and just stuff like that. But Veldora has power to do that, while Rimuru kind of came inside the world with the power to do that, which is kind of all here nor there. But as Rimuru was going out in the world and naming different things, they end up transforming into other things, which again you guys will find out throughout the series. It's a fantastic series. Now free from the stale past life, Rimuru embarks on a quest to prove his worth. As he starts to get used to his current physique, word of his weird accomplishment starts spreading. Start to spread life like a wildflower across the world, changing his fate completely. So this is an anime that I 100% adore. I thought the first episode, it was interesting the way it started. It was definitely interesting, had my attention. Then it got kind of weird. Then he meets Veldora. It didn't get good to me until after Rimuru Tempest had met the goblins. Because right when he leaves the cave, while he's in the cave, he's learning all these different abilities. He learns how to speak, because as a slime you can't really speak, but because he's absorbing abilities and using sound and all that good stuff, he ends up learning how to speak and communicate. He starts getting all these like pretty life survivability type abilities, which is pretty intense. When he leaves the cave, goblins quickly like come in front of him and like are like literally like trying to see if he will help them protect their town, because these guys are weak. They look really scrawny, the whole nine. But because they're able to sense his aura, which you end up seeing how huge his aura is, because what had happened is that the one of the things that Rimuru did in order to help out Veldora is he actually absorbed Veldora into him. So a lot of the powers that Veldora has is now in Rimuru. So the aura that the goblins were able to sense was from really Veldora, but they just see a little slime. So it's just kind of like, what? But yeah, so he ends up becoming really, really OP, really, really powerful. Pretty much the One Punch Man of this anime. Like, now granted, he's not the strongest one out there, and you'll find that out later on in season 2 as well, as he meets Malene and all these other demon lords and all that good stuff. But you can see like how strong and how influential he is. One of the things I love about that time I got reincarnated as a slime is that there's a really huge message there on race, like treating everyone equally, making sure everyone's welcome, the whole nine, no matter what their background is. So you have elves, you have humans, you have goblins, you have hobgoblins, you have Kijins, you have all this stuff that's kind of coming together, and they're living inside the Tempest Federation, which again that'll make sense later on. But they're living inside the Tempest Federation in harmony and in peace and care for each other and love for one another and all that good stuff, which is really cool. A lot, and that's exactly what this world needs today. Season 2, fast forwarding all the way right now to season 2, there's a group of ogres that got transformed, and I might be messing up the term here, but I'm pretty sure they're called Kijins later on. And pretty much the Kijins, they are my absolute favorites. Absolutely love them. Like, they were already dope and strong as ogres, but they are sweet as Kijin. Benimaru, legit, which is also another name from another character I love from another anime called Fire Force. Benimaru is legit there, but Benimaru in that time I got reincarnated as a slime, legit. My favorite is Soe. He's very quiet, very ninja-like. He does his job very well, and he is very skilled, very confident too. Then Shion, love her to death. Now, granted, out of the series, if there's anyone that's going to have fan service, it's going to be her. You see her boobs jiggling every 20 seconds. But her attitude and her demeanor and her weapon is dope. Like, love her to death. But just be prepared. You're going to see a lot of jiggling. Just heads up on that. Shuna, love her too. She has a very innocent personality. Very nice. Has a lot of she's very helpful too as well, very gifted. She's like the princess. I think she's Benimaru's younger sister, and because Benimaru is actually the prince of the ogres, which they ended up being attacked and driven out by orcs. So they kind of run into Rimuru Tempest while they're on their vengeance to kill to pretty much get their vengeance, because they're thinking that Rimuru had something behind that, and they found out that that's not the case and all that good stuff. But ultimately, they want to kill the orcs and get vengeance on the orcs, because that's who had came in and destroyed their area and killed most of their population. So, so that was definitely really cool. And then there's their old guy. I can't remember what his name is. That's going to bug me, because I thought that before. And then there's also another guy that was huge, but he ends up just being a blacksmith is what his profession was. And so him and Kaijin were just getting really, really well. They got along very well, and they just stayed at that at the Rimuru Tempest Federation, literally making these dope weapons for the congregation and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. So with that being said, going on over to season 2, the way it starts off is cool. I liked it a lot. Even some of the filler, like the little ovas and stuff, that was pretty cool too as well. Some of it was just there for fan service. Again, butts and boobs jiggling around, girls in bikinis, stuff like that. So you'll see that in like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. But then the other 3 episodes, we're just talking about the path of the kids, which are Rimuru students. That was cool. I like that. I like that a lot. And it kind of felt like they were leading into the end of the ovas, which is exactly what had happened. and then I go inside season episode 1 of season 2, and the way that episode 1 ended makes me think, that this series is going to be very much about Shion and her maybe rise to power or something like that. Maybe seeing a little bit more of her past and stuff like that. Because the way that the credits roll is you see Malene, you see Rimuru, and you see Shion, and they keep recycling different scenes and different areas of just those three. So maybe that's just something creative that the directors went ahead and did. Or maybe that's saying like, hey, this season you're going to see a lot more Shion, you're going to see a lot more Malene, and of course Rimuru is the main star of the whole thing, so he's going to be there. But I'm just kind of curious of why they set it up that way. You see Shion go off. She is like fighting this other guard that is there. Then this guard is powerful, and they're going hand in hand. But also you see Shion, and he is actually pretty skilled too as well, because he ended up getting trained by the old guy that's one of the Kijins or whatever. Again, I can't remember what they're called, but he ends up getting trained by him, and he ends up like holding his own against the other guard, which you wouldn't expect from a human standpoint. You're expecting these other demon lord generals to be able to take them out with ease, but no, they're holding their own, and it feels great. And just knowing that Rimuru's even stronger than both of them is just like, okay, where is this season going? I'm very excited about it. I can't wait for episode 2. I think episode 2 came out yesterday. Haven't got a chance to watch it because we did our 9 to 5 segment yesterday. Which again, thanks very much for everyone that tuned in for that. In the beginning portion, we did a 9 to 5 Final Fantasy 15. However, due to complications of It's the 9-ball being able to have it, finding out later on that it was Steam and Microsoft not playing nice, and he only had the Steam version while me and Mildewy Carrot had the Microsoft version. We weren't able to complete the 9 to 5 segment with on Final Fantasy 15. Moving fast forwarding, we jumped onto World War Z, had a great time, even brought in a guest from the chatter and all that good stuff. Had a great time with it. So be sure to check that out on previous streams too as well. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what episode 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is going to have. Yeah, I can't even predict it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I know that at some point, one of crap, I can't remember her name right now, but the girl that Rimuru pretty much was destined to be with, that falls in love with, but she ends up having to be absorbed by him. Can't remember her name right now. But she was she lived for thousands of years, and she took on a lot of different students. And one of the students seems to be this whole vigilante demeanor type that is reading about Rimuru and finds out that this is the Izuwa. I think that's Izuwa. Yeah, Shizuwa. That's it. Shizuwa. Yes. But she is Shizu is what the nickname was. But Shizu ended up getting killed, but it's not getting killed as much as it is that her time was up and she was ready to die, and she requested that Rimuru absorbs her, and when he absorbed her, he did end up taking the likeness of her to where he did look like Shizuo a lot. So yeah, thought that was kind of cool. And I'm wondering if she's going to be entering more in the scene in season 2. I have a feeling she will. Maybe she will be more powerful than the Demon Lord. Who knows? Maybe she'll be like the ultimate hero, and she's going to be ending up being a temporary antagonist in this series. We'll have to see. We will have to see. But yeah, very curious to see what that's going to lead up to. Yeah, not really much to go about on that. Just make sure you guys are watching out the series, because it flows very well. Flows extremely well. 1 second while I go ahead and get myself a raised energy. Right here, Apollo. I've never tried this one before, and I wanted to try it on this chat with you guys. I know that was super random just now, but I just eyeballed it, and I completely forgot I even had it. So, go try this out right now. For the first time, no sugar in this. If you guys want to try to go ahead and get some, go to Rep Sports, REPP Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout after you added your raised energy to your cart, and get 15% off. You guys can also get a lot of raised energy or Rep Sports stuff. You guys can get the workout powders, the water supplements, the energy drinks. You guys can even get merchandise. Type in ALWT Gaming, get 15% off. That is 15% off. Let me go ahead and take a sip of this and let you guys know what I think. This is the first time I ever had Apollo. It tastes good. It tastes like Kool-Aid. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I had to go and try that just now. Yeah, it tastes like Kool-Aid. I like it. I do like it. So it's not my favorite one. My favorite one as of now would definitely be the Galaxy Star. Well, not even the Galaxy Starburst. It's the guava mango. So guava mango, Galaxy Starburst, the freaking sour gummy worm. Got some of that. That's pretty delicious. Watermelon's not too bad. Watermelon Frost is not too bad at all. The one I probably like the least is the Voodoo one, and that's still pretty good. This one though, Apollo's not bad. Not bad. I'm liking the little aftertaste. The great bubble gum. Whew, you guys gotta get some of that. Raise energy at reppsports.com. Check it out. But if you guys have yet to actually see That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, highly recommend it. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think you guys will like it. It's very quirky too. It has a sense of serious and has a sense of goofy, and finds a good balance. Now, granted, not saying that every single anime needs this, because it definitely doesn't. Every anime is definitely different. But I think as well that would kind of help the case of some of these animes would actually be if they had that sense of like, are they going to live? Are they going to die? And stuff like that. And this one does have a little bit of that, because, again, no one saw Shizu dying the way that she did. Especially the way that they're kind of portraying it, looked like that Shizu was going to be someone that was going to be around for in the long haul, and maybe she still does come back in some sort of weird way or a different way. But Shizu was one where I thought they were going to overcome the scenario that she was in, ends up dying and being absorbed inside of Rimuru, but she's still technically with Rimuru and spirit and all that good stuff just through Rimuru. And yeah, that one was something that I was not fully expecting, but I did kind of was wondering how Rimuru would get his human form the way that it looked. So, and that definitely explained why. So, yeah. So if you guys haven't checked it out, it's on Funimation. I think it's on Crunchyroll. And I don't think it's on, it's definitely not on Netflix yet. I'm not sure if it's any other platforms, but the main platforms. And normally when I talk about animes, if it's not on kissanime.ru, because kissanime.ru I'm pretty sure is completely shut down now. That's why I used to watch animes for free. But now I went ahead and paid the subscription. Some of these animes are just way too good for you to be getting them for free anyway. So subscription wise, I actually have Crunchyroll and Funimation. So make sure you guys are checking that out on Funimation. I know for a fact it's there. I think it's on Crunchyroll, because I think I have it on my queue there too as well. And make sure you guys are checking that out, because it is a fantastic one. And it's season 2 started just recently. You guys will not be disappointed. Last anime topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about was Re:Zero season 3 technically started. So Re:Zero is very interesting. And I've noticed too, let me see, all of them, well, all right, so Attack on Titan's more based on like what's happening inside that world. Rimuru and his that time I got reincarnated as a slime was he lived inside the world, ends up dying and getting reincarnated inside of pretty much a video game. Re:Zero is very similar to that. Re:Zero is a kid, he's living a boring life and all that good stuff. Something happens, which I'm about to read you guys the description of, and he gets inside of a new world, and it's pretty much a video game. It's practically a video game. So on this one, the series, Re:Zero, the series tells a story of Natsuki Subaru, a normal young man that lives a normal life in modern Japan. However, one day he is summoned by another world. Without knowing the person that summoned him or the reason for being summoned in the new world, he soon befriends a silver-haired half-elf girl named Amelia. So yeah, it starts off kind of weird, and I'm not sure entirely what's going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to end up being some sort of there's going to be some sort of closure there. There's going to be some sort of explanation how he got there, why he got there, and everything like that. Because he's just normally in like a grocery store. He walks outside. He's kind of having some visions and stuff like that. You're seeing some blood on the ground, but again, it's like the vision and all that good stuff. And the next thing you know, he wakes up and he's in a whole new world. So he ended up getting transported after that. He's a normal tracksuit practically, black, white, and yellow, pretty much. And he's very, very, very quirky. He's very, very like, yes, we're in this. Like, he's very much like that. And there's some parts where he's super serious, but then there's a lot of times where he's just like like very goofy and optimistic and all that good stuff. The way that the series started, though, it was very interesting because he ends up in the first episode. Give me 1 second while I sneeze. Woo! Okay. So in the first episode, he ends up going, like, experiencing a certain area numerous times because he ends up dying one way or another, and then he kind of gets transported back to an area. And I know me and Gravity, I talked about this last week on the podcast, but he ends up getting transported back to an area that he was at maybe minutes or hours or whatever it is before he experienced that death. So, and every single time he experiences a death, he actually experiences the death. Like, he flat out dies and everything. He feels it and everything like that, but then he ends up, bam, warped back to an hour or so before that, before it even happened. That happens quite a few times until he realizes what's going on. And each time, he, for the most part, he ended up running into a girl that had silver hair and all that good stuff, and her name is Amelia. And she, I mean, she's very beautiful, very charming. I mean, very genuine and everything like that. She wants to genuinely help him out. And a series of stuff had happened through this whole process, and he ends up actually even starting to fall for it. It's like one of those love at first sight scenarios, and he's like finding it important to protect her. There is a few scenarios that happen. There's one thing I wholeheartedly disagree with, and I know we talked about this last week. I, again, love Rem. I love Rem. You guys would find that out when you guys watch the series. When you guys first saw it, you guys might be like, okay. But as you guys get through the series, and as you guys get to the point of when he gets to the point of survivability with Rem, because that's one of the reasons why he keeps dying too as well, is that sometimes he'll die on purpose because he wants to try to change something that had happened. Even though he doesn't like dying, he does kind of try to do that every so often because of the pain that he's going through, and that he doesn't want this person to die, that he doesn't want this to happen, whatever like that, and he'll restart. There's some twist that happens, though. There's definitely some twist. But one of the things, though, that does happen is that you end up finding out that Rem and Ram in one of the sequences are out to kill Subaru. And it's because of their suspicions. It's because of their beliefs and stuff like that, which later on, again, he ends up fixing and making them understand through various different lifestyles and stuff like that. And then it gets to the point to where they can actually trust him. And then Rem ends up actually like loving him. And the way for almost all of season two, you feel that love that Rem has for Subaru. You see the lengths that she goes beyond. Like, it is ridiculous. And just the thought that that's not the main love interest is very painful. It's like, you know that he's gonna, the way that the show is designed, you know he's gonna end up with Amelia. You just know it's gonna end up with Amelia, or maybe not be with anyone, period, ever. But ultimately, the way the show's designed is going to be with Amelia. But the way they wrote that section, like, there's just absolutely no way that makes sense, or that's even right, that Rem does not end up being with Subaru. It doesn't make any sense at all. She loves him way too much in the appropriate amount. It's not like she's obsessed with him or anything like that. It's like, that relationship is just so pure. That relationship is just so right. That's just like, snap. Like, forget Amelia. Just go with Rem. Some stuff happens later on to where you're just like, okay, I see you and Amelia. I see that you're in love with Amelia. Okay, I get it. It's a good couple still, but you have Rem, like, right here. You have Rem. So that's all I got to say about that. But it came back. It's very interesting. In the latest episode that they did, they had to devise a plan, and the plan that he devised was actually from his buddy, which is a merchant. And that merchant actually ended up having a special skill to where he can actually communicate with with bugs and like animals and stuff. I guess he was pretty quiet for a long time, didn't really communicate. They paint that picture very well inside the last episode. Didn't really communicate at all that much. And then his older brother started kind of encouraging him and leading him to to just showing him love and just showing him support, and he ends up being able to write on paper, I guess, to his parents that he's able to communicate or whatever. And that was a very emotional time period for him and his family, which is ridiculous. It was a moment that did hit home, to be honest with you, after watching it. Stuff came out the bag about his ability, because his brother, he told his brother about it. His oldest brother said to keep it under wraps because of how the community would react. His younger brother or sister, I couldn't tell because they were kids, and it looked like it was a little boy, but I don't know. But anyway, the younger sibling, I would say, was telling his friends, you know how kids do, he's telling his friends that his older brother, not the oldest brother, the main merchant character that ends up growing up later on, but he said that his brother was able to speak with animals, and they didn't believe him, and they were teasing him and making him feel bad. And of course, being the older brother, the merchant was just like, all right, let me go ahead and show you I can do this. Goes ahead and calls all these like locust type animals into the area, and all the citizens freak out. All the citizens starts calling him names and stuff like that, and just didn't accept him for who he was. And then even got a little bit even older, to where like when he got a little bit older inside of his teens, he got beat up for trying to hit on a girl or something like that. And when he was trying to figure out what was going on, he's speaking to the animals. The animals were able to see all this stuff going on. He confronted the girl, called her out because she was like royalty or something like that. She was messing around with several different dudes. And of course, because of that, she wanted to have him killed, so he was on the run. But as he was on the run, he ends up finding out that trading and selling and all that good stuff was a huge passion of his. And he ends up coming across Subaru, which ends up being one of his good friends. And he felt like he can trust and do anything for and all that good stuff. So that kind of fast forwards us to the latest episode of that. And there's a character named Garth, which, again, he's a cool character. He's definitely a cool character. And there's moments in this show to where some of the characters that are bad, depending on what scenario you go through, you're like, snap, this character's actually cool, or they're actually good. And it's just really weird. So it's just like, I don't know. It's really interesting of how that's painted out. But the latest reveal that they had was that Garth was kind of bad, if you will. He wasn't really exactly the walk in the park. He's not exactly the buddy that you would want to have on your roster. Nothing like that. But Garth was an advocate that Amelia has to go through this trial alone, and that she can't be messed with, or whatever the case is. And they kind of made the merchant ended up making a plan to have Garth be distracted for X amount of time, so that way Subaru and Amelia can kind of be alone and try to go through the trials together and do whatever they got to do in order to not only get everyone out of the area, but to also go back and save these individuals back at the manor, because there's a huge assassin that comes over at the manor and kills a few more people that Subaru finds dear and cherishes and stuff, and he's trying to find a way to save everybody. So one of the ways they have to do it is by having Amelia go through this trial that only she can go through because she's like of nobility or whatever like that, and complete it. And it's a whole ordeal, but ultimately, I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen in the sense of who is going to officially live, because there's a character named Puck that's in that show, and I don't know if he's alive anymore or not. So that one's a little bit harder to really discuss without going into major spoilers, which I know I did earlier into some of the stuff, even for this show and previous series that we were talking about just now. But I don't know exactly what's going on entirely with Puck. Like, I don't know. Maybe everything will come to light later on, because Puck was a spirit that is very strong, and you don't really see. He kind of has a plan that he kind of leaves Amelia on, and is like in the hands of Subaru now. And it's just like, where are you going? Like, why are you ending this contract? Why is all this stuff happening? So we'll just have to see. Only time will tell for that one. I think that episode of ReZero comes out, if it's not today, maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. A lot of this stuff, I'm still trying to figure out what official days they come on. I know Attack on Titan comes out today. And I'm pretty confident that that time I got reincarnated as a slime comes out on Fridays. So be on the lookout for all of that. And yeah, we'll just kind of have to see what this week is going to hold for those new episodes. So ReZero, Attack on Titan, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, all animes, highly recommended animes that I would implore and encourage you guys all to watch. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's a good time there. All of them, for the most part, are 8 out of 10, maybe higher animes. Yeah, definitely. Going on to the final topic that I have here is the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. All right, so that one, not really an anime topic. Just wanted to go and talk to you guys about it. So real fast, before we go ahead and talk about, I went ahead and submitted my submissions. I'm not going to talk about the submissions that I had as far as voting for this year, but I do want to talk about last year, a few of those winners. So last year, the anime of the year was Demon Slayer. No surprise there. If you guys are hip to Demon Slayer is a banger of an anime. It's very, very artful. It's beautiful. It's passionate. It's very interesting there. And Tanjiro kind of goes through that's the main character, main protagonist. He has a very heightened sense of smell, and he's very crafty. And pretty much the way that anime starts off in general is that him and his family are living inside the mountains, all that good stuff. He goes down inside the mountains to sell material and everything like that. He's about to go back up the mountain, but one of the elders that's at the foot of the mountain ends up saying, "Take refuge in here because it's dark." There's demons that can be lurking about and all that good stuff. There's danger that could be in the forest. At this point, not a lot of the people believe in demons and all that good stuff. He leaves. In the morning. He's going back to his hometown. He smells blood. He rushes to his town. He rushes to his little hub that's at the top of the mountain, and everyone is massacred. Every single one of his family is dead. He had a younger brother, two younger a younger sister, two younger sisters. He had a baby. Now, it wasn't his, but it was like there was a baby that was there, and his mom. They were all killed. They were all massacred. The only one that may have survived was Netsuko. She was still breathing, but she's like on the verge of death. So he's trying to rush down the mountain and all that good stuff to get her to a doctor. But on the way, she ends up like struggling and fighting and all that good stuff. And next thing you know, you find out that Netsuko was actually turned into a demon. So she's demonized. So Tanjiro, on the other hand, is still trying his best to understand what's going on and like try to bring his sister back to consciousness. And in the midst of all of that, she ends up starting to regain consciousness. She starts coming back to like her senses and stuff a little bit, and she almost gets killed by a demon slayer that comes through, and he just slashes at her, but they end up just barely dodging it. They kind of scrap for a little bit, and Tanjiro kind of gets knocked down after Tanjiro gets knocked down after like Netsuko is about to die, because the demon slayer tries to rush at him and kill or tries to go ahead and kill Netsuko, which is his sister. Tanjiro makes a plan, which is he thinks very, very creatively, and he almost actually kills the demon slayer, but he does that because he was trying to protect his sister. He gets knocked out, and when Netsuko ends up getting free and starts going after Tanjiro, and when it looks like that Netsuko's about to kill Tanjiro, she actually like steps in front of Tanjiro like she's protecting him. And then she just starts using her demonic powers to try to attack the Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, with ease, knocks her out. Then you find out later on, this Demon Slayer is dope. He is strong. But anyway, the Demon Slayer, with absolute ease, knocks her out. And then he gives Tanjiro and Netsuko a chance to live. And he's just like, hey, you guys go here. Say that I sent you when you get there and all that good stuff. This guy will take care of you. And he did that because he saw that it was impossible. Like Netsuko was injured. Netsuko was hungry. She was a demon. She had no rationality of thought, and yet she still was trying to protect her brother. So he thought that there was still hope there, and he trusted Tanjiro with his sister. So he went ahead and gave them a box because demons can't be inside the sunlight. So he gave her a box so that she can shrink, which that's another thing. She can increase in size or decrease in size, and so she can be inside the box. while it's daylight out and not have to be burned or killed or anything like that. So he gave her that, and he goes on this adventure of how to try to bring his sister back to life, or back to humanity, I should say, because she's still alive, but he's just trying to see how she can be cured of that demon instinct. And through the whole series, it's just a fantastic series. It really is. So for that to win Game of the Year, that's not of 2020. That's not a surprise to me. Best protagonist of 2020 was Senku from Dr. Stone. I have yet to actually see fully of that. I've only seen episode 1. I've heard great things about Dr. Stone, but yeah, we'll have to see. I'm gonna give it more of a shot and see what that's going to be about. Best antagonist is Isabella, which is from The Promised Neverland. That's the mother. Wholeheartedly agree. I think she was a fantastic antagonist, and she's very manipulative. She definitely kept some secrets there as well. And Promised Neverland is very Attack on Titan-esque. It's not Attack on Titan, but it is one of those ones where it's just like, who's going to live? Who's going to die? What's going on here? How are they going to get out? What's actually going on in the real world? Stuff like that. So definitely check that out if you guys have yet to actually try it out. Promised Neverland, fantastic anime. Best boy of 2020 was Tanjiro Kamado, which is Demon Slayer. We were just talking about that. So great character. You actually don't see a whole lot of I guess you do see some redheaded main male characters inside animes, but you don't really see a whole lot of them. Whenever I think of that, I always think of Kenshin, and that's practically it. I don't really think of a whole lot of... And maybe the dude from Food Wars, which I have yet to see, but I see him on the cover on Netflix series all the time, so... I mean, I guess that's another one, but you don't really think of a whole lot of redheaded anime male characters. I don't know. Very interesting. Best girl, Raphtalia from Rising of the Shield Hero. 100% agree. Fantastic anime. Make sure you guys are checking it out. 10 out of 10, easy. Fantastic anime. Raphtalia is my girl. Love her to death. Love her to death. Love her to death. Check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it. Best fight scene is Tanjiro and Netsuko versus Ryu, which is from Demon Slayer. I agree. And you find out more about the demons, because there's some, of course, just like almost any other anime, there's demons that are there, like base level, and then you have stronger level demons and stuff like that as they kind of go up, and Ryu is one of them. So I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. Definitely great anime. Best couple, Kaguya Shinomiya and Miyuki Shirogane, and this is from Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I've not seen that anime, can't really comment too much about it, but yeah, that was the best couple for 2020 of anime award winners. Best voice acting performance, Japan, is Yuichi Nakamura, Bruno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't really care about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I haven't really given it a shot. Maybe eventually I will, but right now, nah, not for me. Best voice actor performance, English, Billy Kometz, which is Nafumi from Rising of the Shield Hero. 100% agree. So there's a few voice actors that I am pretty hip to and I can recognize right at the very start, and that is Bryce Papenbrook. He's Kirito, he's Meliodas, he's Aaron, which Kirito, Sword Art Online, Meliodas, Seven Deadly Sins, Aaron, Attack on Titan. It's very easy for me to pull out his voice, which is cool. Karami Leone, she plays Asuna from Sword Art Online. Love her to like. There's a few voice actors that are now the English voice actors, I should say. There's English voice actors that's out there that are now like really good, and I prefer them in. And normally, if I hear them in an anime, chances are that anime is going to be good. Chances are, not saying it's guaranteed, but chances are it's going to be good. So. Yeah, so with that being said, I did love Rising of the Shield Hero. I heard Nafumi's voice in Rising of the Shield Hero. And Billy Kometz, you did a fantastic job. You did a fantastic job voice acting Nafumi. I felt every bit of it. I loved the intention that you had, the intensity that you had when it came to action. And sorry, you guys hearing my alerts in the background. So, but ultimately, fantastic job. Rising of the Shield Hero for Nafumi. Great stuff. Best comedy comes back to Kagume Sama. Love is War. Haven't seen it. May have to give that a shot. For 2020. Best fantasy, Promised Neverland. I wouldn't even say that that's a fantasy. I would say that that's like horror. I mean, it is fantasy, but I'm just saying, I agree. I think the Promised Neverland was really good. I definitely appreciate what it's been doing, and it's back. Like I said, it's only 2 episodes in. So if you guys have yet to actually try out the Promised Neverland, make sure you guys check it out. I think you guys will wholeheartedly agree that it's a top anime for sure. Top anime. Hidden gems. So this one's not really so much of a hidden gem as it is. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on it, and that's Fire Force. I wanted to talk about Fire Force today. So Fire Force is definitely a really good anime for sure, but it is one of those ones that takes some time to get good. You're probably going to spend a good portion of season 1 just trying to understand everything when it comes to Adola Burst and characters and yada and yada and all that good stuff. Like Maki's one of my favorites. She's awesome. Benimaru is awesome. Pretty much all the generals are legit. Yeah, they're all pretty dope. I don't like Giovanni, which you guys will understand why if you guys decide to pick that up. But all the generals are legit. It is one of those ones that it has what I call the Sword Art Online effect, to where not so much the actual feelings that you have towards it, but the fact that like you watch the first episode, it's you watch the second episode, it's okay, I see where it's going. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You have all those episodes that you watch, and they're all baseline mediocre, but they're explaining and setting up what's about to happen. And that 7th, 8th episode comes along, and bam, the switch just flips, and it just gets really good, really in tune, really, really dope. And that's exactly what Fire Force is. It has its spurts of amazingness, and then it'll kind of simmer down a little bit, and then it picks back up again. So it's like in between those seasons where it's just like it's okay. But other than that, when the action happens and the series starts unfolding and the plot lines start coming together, hit after hit after hit, it just gets really good. So Benimaru is definitely one of my favorites. Maki, love her to death for sure. Shinra, of course. I like Shinra. I know a lot of actually I can't even say a lot. I know that one of ALWT cast did not really like Shinra, but I like Shinra. I thought he was really dope. And the fact that he's trying to get his brother Sho, who ends up being dope. Joker's pretty dope too as well. When you guys find out who Joker is, he's pretty dope too as well. So if you guys have yet to actually watch Fire Force or started it and stopped because you're only 3 episodes in, highly recommend that you guys push through it all the way through, because once the latest season, which was season 2, that ended probably about a month ago because it ended in December, has probably come back. We're halfway through. We're a little over halfway through January right now. I wouldn't expect Fire Force to come back until end February, mid-March, roughly. That would be my assumption. Of course, anime news might be a little bit differently. But just be on the lookout for all of that. And of course, we'll go ahead and have that on our podcast. We'll have that on the website. We'll have that on the mobile app, which you guys can actually get from www.alwtgaming.com. The whole 9. So if there's any anime news concerning that, you guys can get it there as well. It's pretty easy to find. If you guys have yet to actually get inside Fire Force, highly recommend it. I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. And then for if you guys are trying to get inside and vote, if you guys have a Crunchyroll account, highly recommend you guys log in. Is from voting from January 15th, so 2 days ago, into the 22nd. So you guys have 5 more days. You can vote daily. Oh, you can vote daily. Oh, I might have to go out there and vote again. If you really want your favorites to win, get your friends to vote too. You can even share who you think will win. Watch, don't miss the action on February 19th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, when they announce the winners. So 5 p.m. Pacific time, February 19th, which February 19th is a Friday. So Pacific time, I believe that will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, roughly. So be on the lookout for that. They'll be announcing that. They have some. Let me go ahead. We got some time here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up what they have for their for their anime nominees. We're going to go over that real quick. Anime Awards. Here we go. Anime Awards, Crunchyroll. Okay, so on here, vote for Anime of the Year. So they have Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. That is that's a submission. That's a nominee right there. Great Pretender, Appare Ranman, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dorohedoro, and Beastars. Not gonna lie, very curious of the animes of the years. I guess I have to go back and kind of see what all animes officially came out last year. But on this one, to me, it's a no-brainer, Jujutsu Kaisen. So very curious about that. Best protagonist. So we have here is Natsume from Decadence, Katarina Klaus, which is My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. That's a really good one. Yuji Ittori, which is Jujutsu Kaisen, Anos Valdigode, which is from The Misfits of a Demon King Academy. It's a very long name. The full name is The Misfits of a Demon King Academy. History's strongest demon king reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants. That's the full name. But if I say Misfits of the Demon King, you guys know what I'm talking about. Midori Asakusa, which is Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken, and Shoyo Hinata, which is Haikyuu to the Top. That is a great anime too. It's a volleyball anime. It's a sports one. Don't be sleeping on the sports animes, guys. Don't be sleeping on it. Those are a great series. Those sports ones are pretty good. Best antagonist. We have Ain from Dorohedoro. This one surprised me because I did not know she was an antagonist, and I had to go ahead and watch. I've only watched episode 1, but Rachel from Tower of God, she's an antagonist. Did not see that coming at all. Yeah, so I had to see how that's going to be. Echtina, I wouldn't have her really as an antagonist, to be honest with you, but she's from ReZero, starting a new life. She's in season 2. I like her. I like her a lot, but I don't really think she's really an antagonist. Maybe something down the road happens in the anime culture of it. Maybe she kind of is considered that because of the powers that she bestowed to Subaru. I don't know, but I don't look at her as an antagonist right now. I have a different character in mind for the antagonist for that one. Ryumen Sukuna, which is from Jujutsu Kaisen. Akito Soma from Fruits Basket Season 2. And Overhaul from My Hero Academia. So a nice little pick of the litter there. I would go with Overhaul, to be honest with you. But yeah, and by the way, for my best protagonist, I would have to go with Shoyo Hinata. That's me. That's me all day. Best boy. So we have Kamen from Dorohedoro, Kun Agero, Agni, Tower of God, Anos Valigon from The Misfits of Demon King Academy, Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, Legoshi from Beastars, and Shoyo Hinata from Haikyuu to the Top. That was a hard one. I like Gojo. I like Gojo a lot. I like Gojo. That's probably my pick, mixed in with Shoyo Hinata. Best girl. Sayaka Kanamori from Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. Noi from Dorohedoro. Abigail Jones from Great Pretender. Chizuru Mizuhara from Rent a Girlfriend. Katarina Klaus from My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to Doom. And Kaguya Shinomiya from Kaguya Sama, which is that Love is War anime we were talking about earlier. I chose Katarina for that. Like her a lot. Best opening sequence. They have Easy Breeze from Keep Your Hands Off Izuken. Wild Side from Beastars. Daddy Do from Kaguya Sama. Kai Kitan from Jujutsu Kaisen. GP from Great Pretender. Phoenix from Haikyuu to the Top. I said Haikyuu. That's what I said. We're going to skip best ending sequence, but we're going to go on over here to, well, no, we're going to do simply the best opening, so we'll do that real fast. So on this one, we have best opening, Lost in Paradise, Jujutsu Kaisen, Night Running, which is Shin's, that's on BNA, Akamoto's from Unlimited, which is the millionaire detective, The Great Pretender, which is The Great Pretender, DDD from, or Quadruple D, I should say, from Dorohedoro, and The Last Dance from Mamoru Miyano, Inspector. Best voice acting performance, Japanese, Riho Sugiyami, which is Wave, Listen to Me, Yusuke Kobayashi, which is from, which is the voice actor for Natsuki Subaru. The last person was Minare Koda. But Yasuki Kobayashi is from ReZero. Mutsumi Tamura from Sayaka, or she is Sayaka Kanamori from Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin. Megumi Agota from who plays Hanako from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Yuichi Nakamura, who plays Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yusuke Anuki, who plays Daisuke Kanbei from The Millionaire Detective. And this is the last one I'm going to go ahead and do. Oh, no, I'm going to do best fight scene too as well. Vote for best voice acting performance in English. Zeno Robinson, who plays Hawks from My Hero Academia Season 4. Aaron Phillips, who plays Laurent Terry from Great Pretender. Jonah Scott from Legoshi, who plays Legoshi in Beastars. Crispin Freeman, who plays Zio Suda from Fate. That's the Grand Order Fate. Johnny Young Bosch, who plays Bomb from Tower of God. And Aneris Kionis, who plays Estina from ReZero. And then lastly, which we'll go ahead and stop here, which is the best fight scene. So Gojo versus Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen. Berkoli versus Dark God Vecta, which is Sword Art Online. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was part 2. Okay, that's a good one. Jin versus Dawe in the God of High School. Another one for God of High School is Jin versus Jagel from God of High School. Deku versus Overhaul in My Hero Academia Season 4. Brawler versus Master versus Akaduma Drive. Let me see what the best score is. Let's see that. No. It's best couple. Let's see that. Best couple. Yes, here we go. We have Nasa Yuzaki and Tsukasa Yuzaki from Tonikawa Over the Moon for You. Legoshi and Haru from Beastars. Katarina Klaus and Maria Campbell from My Next Life as a Villainess. I don't know why that's really there, to be honest with you, unless they're just talking about like friendship types or whatever, because that they don't have anything romantic going on in that series, not with that one at least. Kaguya Shinomaya and Miyuki Shirogane from Kaguya-sama Love is War. Kotoko Iwanaga and Kiro Sugaragawa. Sorry about that. Inspector and Shizuri Mizahara and Kazuya Kinoshita from Rent a Girlfriend. I all the way went with Tonikawa because those are my peeps right there. Like them a lot. So yeah, guys, that was pretty much it. I'm sorry you guys had to listen to me ramble for a full hour and a half just talking about animes, but at the same time, I'm appreciated that you guys were able to stick in about this, listen to that on podcast services. That's on social media platforms such as Anchor, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, the whole nine. Of course, you guys can always find us at www.alwtgaming.com, or you guys can go to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ALWT Gaming. Make sure you guys are checking out our content. Tomorrow we have our SIN segment, which SIN stands for Strength in Numbers, where we're going to do multiplayer content for you guys, whether it's a Warzone type setup or Smite or whatever the case is, whatever we're feeling like playing, we're going to go ahead and stream a little bit of. I will actually be part of that too as well for at least the beginning portion of the day, mainly because it's Martin Luther King Day, so I'm off my current job. And then Tuesday is going to be our All Things Gaming, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, typically until 7:30. And we're going to give you guys the gaming news, talk about gaming topics, and there should be more of the ALWT cast on that one too as well. Thursday is going to be Smite Night with the ALWT cast. I typically join on to Smite Night at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, you guys will be seeing Smite Night going out through the day on a Mildewy Carrot's page as well, typically whenever he's able to join in. But that's where me, Ohio, it's the 9-ball, and every so often Mildewy Carrot would jump in on our 9 to 5, I mean, not 9 to 5, well, with our Smite segment and all that good stuff, all the way leading up to next Sunday, which is going to be our all-day anime segment. Maybe bringing in another ALWT cast member with me while Gravity-Mark is on vacation, or maybe even bringing in a host, another guest, so we can go ahead and give you guys some dialogue content, kind of pick another person's brains, thoughts, and ideas and all that good stuff too as well about the series that we're going to be talking about too as well. So if you guys have yet to actually check it out, once again, Attack on Titan Season 2 today came out. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Episode 2 is coming out real soon if it's not out already, so make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. ReZero, newest episode is going to be coming out too as well. Be on the lookout for all of that. Going to be some good stuff. If you guys have any anime discussions, topics, anything like that, you would like to join in as well, go ahead and leave us a comment below. We'll be trying to go ahead and check it out. First, watch it, see if we like it, see if it's something up our alley, and we can talk about it. And even if we don't like it, we can still talk about it and give our thoughts about that too as well. So there you go, guys. Appreciate everyone that's been tuning in for this. Once again, make sure you guys are following us on our social media platforms. If you guys have Twitch Prime, make sure you guys are giving us that sub. If not, give it to another streamer that you guys support, so that way they can benefit from that. It's free money, so why not? Until next time, everybody, Control Alt Complete. Peace.